You are waiting for a message that has not arrived. You are replaying a conversation in your mind, searching for hidden meanings, dissecting the silence, calculating the distance between you and him. There is a tightness in your chest, a familiar weight. It is the heavy gravity of waiting. You believe you are waiting for him to change. You believe that if he, the unawakened counterpart, would just step forward, if he would just wake up to the connection you know is real, then you could finally exhale. But let us look closer at this pain. You are exhausted, not because the situation is hopeless, but because you are trying to change the reflection in the mirror without changing the face you present to it. Neville Goddard, the great mystic of the last century, posed a radical truth. He said, "There is no one to change but self." This is not an accusation. It is an invitation to freedom. You are not a victim of his behavior. You are the architect of the reality in which his behavior exists. The silence you hear from him, it is only the echo of your own doubt. The distance you feel, it is the physical manifestation of your own belief that love is something you must chase. Today, we stop chasing the reflection. We stop manifesting from the past, where you are the one who waits, and we begin manifesting from the future, where you are the one who is chosen. Because you cannot find what you are looking for as long as you remain the person who is looking for it. Why does this cycle repeat? You have likely asked yourself this in the quiet hours of the morning. Why, despite your prayers, your intricate visualizations, and your clear intention to be loved, does the unawakened counterpart continue to retreat? Why does the silence stretch on, unaffected by your desire? To understand this, we must put aside the superstition of luck or fate. We must instead blend the clinical precision of psychology with the timeless truths of metaphysics. We must talk about the identity of the seeker and the hidden machinery that keeps you trapped in a loop of waiting. Let us begin with the vessel you inhabit. Psychologically, your nervous system has likely become addicted to the chemistry of longing. This is a hard truth to accept, but the body loves familiarity, even when that familiarity is painful. When you exist in the energy of the anxious heart, the version of you that checks the phone, the one who scans for signs of rejection, the one who overanalyzes every word, you are reinforcing a specific biological baseline. You are firing high voltage cortisol and adrenaline through your neural pathways. Over time, your brain recognizes this state of high alert anxiety not as danger, but as home. You are telling your subconscious mind that you are the one who waits. You are affirming that you are the one who is not chosen. And the universe, in its infinite and impartial neutrality, simply agrees with you. It says, yes, you are. To visualize how this creates your reality, think of your life as a grand cinema. Your consciousness is the projector, a beaming light of pure awareness. The film reel running through that projector is your self-concept, the sum total of everything you believe to be true about who you are and what you deserve. The world you see around you, including the man you love, is merely the screen. He is an actor projected onto that screen, playing the role that your film reel has assigned to him. When he pulls away, or when he acts cold, your instinct is to run up to the screen and scream. You try to manipulate the external world. You send the long text message to explain yourself. you try to force a conversation to bridge the gap. You try to wipe the screen with a cloth to change the scene from a tragedy to a romance. But the screen cannot change on its own. It is dead matter. It has no creative power. It only has reflective power. It can only show you what is on the film reel inside the projector. If you are manifesting from your past, you are playing an old, scratched film reel on a loop. It is a reel titled, "I Am Always Abandoned," or perhaps, "Love is Hard Work." Neville Goddard teaches us that the world is simply yourself pushed out. If your specific person is acting inconsistent or distant, they are not doing this to hurt you. They are doing this because they have no choice. They are reflecting your internal state of fragmentation. They are mirroring your own hidden belief that you must fight for love. This brings us to the physics of connection, or what we might call quantum entanglement at a macro level. You are deeply entangled with this person, connected by invisible threads of energy. But we must ask, what frequency is traveling along those threads? Right now, you are entangled in the frequency of wanting. Here lies the cruelest paradox of the law of assumption. To want something is to affirm that you do not have it. The very act of longing creates distance. The more you desperately want him, the more you energetic push him away, because wanting implies separation. Having implies union. You are exhausted, not because the situation is impossible, but because you are carrying the heavy, crushing burden of trying to get something you think is outside of you. You have not yet entered the lightness of realizing it is already within you. You are screaming at a mirror, begging it to smile at you while you stand before it with tears in your eyes. The mirror cannot smile first. It acts only as an echo. And until you change the source of the sound, until you change the identity from the one who seeks to the one who creates, the echo will remain the same. The diagnosis is not that you are unlovable. The diagnosis is that you are projecting the identity of the rejected one, and the world is faithfully loving and brutally proving you right. So, how do we change the film? We have diagnosed the problem, and we have looked into the mirror to see the nature of the echo. But this leaves us with the most critical question of all. How do we physically and energetically move from the timeline where you are alone, checking a silent phone, to the timeline where you are cherished, secure, and at peace? To answer this, we must accept a terrifying and beautiful truth. You must die to the old self. This sounds dramatic, I know, but true transformation is always a destructive act before it is a creative one. You must be willing to let the anxious heart die. You must stop identifying with your pain. This is harder than it sounds because many of us say we want love, but we are secretly in love with our own tragic story. The story of the one who was left behind, the story of the one who loves too much, or the story of the martyr in a great, difficult romance gives us a sense of identity. It makes us feel alive, even if that aliveness is born of suffering. To shift timelines, you must step out of that familiar, heavy coat and leave it on the floor. You must walk away from the identity of the victim. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Now, we must be very clear about what this means, because it is often misunderstood. Living in the end does not mean you walk around your house pretending he is sitting on the couch next to you when he is not. That is delusion, and it is fragile. Living in the end means you occupy the emotional and nervous system state of the woman who is already loved. You must ask yourself a radical question. If you were in a secure, loving, committed union right now, right this second, how would you feel? You would not be manic. You would not be checking your phone every 5 minutes. You would not be analyzing his last sentence for hidden clues. You would be calm. You would be secure. You would be busy with your own life, knowing that at the end of the day, he comes home to you. Neville Goddard calls this state the Sabbath. It is a state of mental rest. It is the deep exhale after the work is done. When you know it is done, you rest. You do not dig up a seed every hour to see if it has germinated. You trust the soil. But right now, you're not resting. You're digging. And this is exactly why the dynamic remains frozen. The avoidant soul, your counterpart, is highly sensitive to energy. Even if you're not speaking to them, even if you are in no contact, they can feel the weight of your focus. They feel your grasp. They feel your energy leaning into them, demanding validation, demanding a sign. To them, this energy feels like pressure. It feels like a demand. And so, true to their nature, they run to escape the weight of your expectation. But when you shift your identity, everything changes. When you become the throne, not the beggar, the energy dynamic flips upside down. When you withdraw your desperate focus from him and place it back on your own majesty, you create an energetic vacuum. You must understand that nature abhors a vacuum. It cannot sustain empty space. When you stop chasing, when you stop leaning, when you stop pushing your energy out toward him, the energy must rebalance itself. He feels the space you have created. He feels the sudden absence of the pressure. And in that space, for the first time, he has the room to step forward. He has the room to wonder about you. He has the room to miss you. You are not manipulating him with mind games. You are simply moving yourself to a higher timeline. You are moving to a timeline where you are the prize, where love is easy, and where you do not have to beg for what is already yours. You are tuning your internal radio from the static of fear to the clear, resonant frequency of love. The world and the specific person within it serves only to reflect the station you are tuned to. If you stay on the frequency of anxiety, you will hear the song of anxiety. But if you tune into the frequency of the Sabbath, the frequency of having, the reality must shift to match it. It is not just psychology, it is physics. You create the space, and the universe fills it. How do we live this philosophy when the world around us remains stubborn and silent? It is one thing to understand the law of assumption intellectually, to nod along with the idea that we create our reality. But it is an entirely different challenge to maintain that conviction when you wake up alone on a Tuesday morning. The transition between the old timeline and the new timeline is a delicate period. It is like walking across a bridge made of mist. If you look down, you fall. To successfully cross from the state of longing to the state of having, you must integrate 3 specific internal shifts. These are not merely actions you take. They are disciplines of the mind and the nervous system that anchor you in your new reality. The first shift is what I call the diet of observation. You must strictly starve the old story of its lifeblood, which is your attention. Most of us are addicted to looking for evidence. We check social media, we analyze timestamps, and we scan our environment for signs that the manifestation is working. But you must understand that the three-dimensional world is a lagging indicator. It is the past, crystallized. When you look at your current circumstances, the silence, the distance, the coldness, you are looking at a dead star. The light you see creates the illusion of presence, but the source of that light died long ago. It is an echo of your past thoughts and your past assumptions. Every time you check for a sign, you are digging up the seed to see if it has grown. By looking for proof, you are shouting to the universe that you do not believe you have it. You are validating the absence. To shift this, you must treat the current reality with a supreme, detached indifference. When you see the silence, you must say to yourself that this is old news. This is simply dead energy passing through my system to be released. Do not react to the echo. Let it fade into the nothingness from which it came. The second shift requires us to move from the mind into the body. We call this regulating for receipt. Many of you believe you want this person back with every fiber of your being, but if they were to call you right now, your body would not feel peace. It would feel a massive spike of adrenaline, panic, and high voltage anxiety. You would be terrified of saying the wrong thing or losing them again. That adrenaline is not the frequency of love. It is the frequency of the chaser. It is the chemical signature of insecurity. You cannot hold a relationship that your nervous system perceives as a threat. You must teach your body that love is safe, boring, and calm. You must practice the feeling of normalcy. Visualize the relationship, but not as a high-stakes Hollywood climax with rain and tears, but as a quiet Tuesday evening. Imagine the sound of him in the other room, the clinking of dishes, the feeling of a heavy, warm blanket. This mundane safety is the true frequency of union. You must acclimate your nervous system to this state so that when the manifestation arrives, you do not sabotage it with panic. You must be a safe harbor before the ship can dock. The third and final shift is the crown of I am. Your self-concept is the operating system of your life, and for too long, you have been running a program of unworthiness. You have been telling yourself that you are the one who is left, that you are too much, or that you are not enough. You must rewrite this code, line by line, through your inner conversations. We are always talking to ourselves, and most of this talk is a rehearsal of our fears. You must catch this inner dialogue and ruthlessly edit it. When the thought arises asking why he has not called, you must override it with the truth that you are magnetic and love naturally flows to you. When the fear whispers that he will never come back, you must answer with the conviction that you are the destination and there is nowhere else to go. This is not arrogance, it is sovereignty. When you wear the crown of I am, you stop looking for validation outside of yourself because you have become the source of it. You stop asking the world for permission to be chosen, and you choose yourself. Paradoxically, It is only when you stop needing the external world to validate you that the external world rushes to confirm what you already know. You must walk in this authority. You must guard your mind like a fortress. You must deny entry to any thought that implies you are a victim of circumstance. You are the operant power, and the story ends only how you say it ends. The version of you that is happily in love with your specific person already exists. It is a frequency. It is a timeline running parallel to this one. You do not need to create it. You need to access it. And you access it by assuming the identity of the woman who already lives there. Stop waiting for the mirror to smile first. It cannot. Smile, knowing who you are, knowing that the law is unfailing, knowing that your assumption, if persisted in, must harden into fact. You are the operant power. The story is yours to write. Do not write another chapter of waiting. Write the chapter of having. Walk in that feeling today, not for him, but for you, because you are worthy of your own love first.